What's up, you guys? I want to talk about 3 things that you should be thinking about anytime that you're looking at a FedEx route business, or really any business for that matter, that I think is going to be really important whenever you're considering the net income that's advertised in that listing. So a lot of times people view that net income figure as almost like a job salary. They think that this is what the business is going to make. They think that their evaluation process is just to make sure that those numbers are legitimate, which of course that's a good idea to try to verify those numbers as much as you can. But more importantly, in terms of a good evaluation process, is trying to figure out whether that specific business has upside potential, downside potential, and so on. We'll leave that for another day, for another video. But what I want to talk about is on the higher levels of all of the businesses, all of the routes that are out there, how can we look at this in a better way? So the first thing you want to consider is your organic growth. Like, it's very unlikely that a route that is making $200,000 this year in 5 years is making the exact same. Like, it's very, very unlikely. Yes, there are situations where that happens. There are some situations where it actually goes down, but a lot of times people already have an idea about organic growth. They're already force-fed the charts from the brokers showing that e-commerce rates are going straight up and everything is just wonderful. People are shipping stuff more and more. We get it. We already understand that. And a lot of times when people don't understand how to evaluate FedEx routes correctly, they will look at things like population growth and demographics. Are they in the good side of the neighborhood or the bad side? Or is this a rich side of the, like, these things don't matter. They don't matter at all because we're a contractually based business. And so the rates can change. The rates are often the same, whether you're going to a low income or high income neighborhood, it does not matter. So a lot of times people get sort of confused about what they think is actually valuable. And a lot of times that sort of stuff is not. But the point is, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, these routes will continue to make more because they inherently kind of grow. You don't have to do anything for it. You don't have to figure out an advertising campaign. You don't have to come and undercut your fellow contractors because your territory is legally protected. It's just going to happen naturally as, again, more people are shipping stuff online. How much exactly will that turn into your net income? That's for another video, another day. But the point is that organic growth is there, and you have to really consider about that, what that might be. And so the second thing you need to consider is your operational growth. Now, here's the thing about FedEx routes. If you're looking at getting this business and then improving it in some sort of way, maybe getting rid of the overpaid drivers, firing the redundant manager, doing this or that you think is going to fix things up and double the net income tomorrow, you're not. You're not. I know the brokers want to make it sound like you can buy these things and then fix them up, make them better, and double the net income overnight. That's not what happens 99% of the time. Now, if you're looking at a coffee shop that's in distress and they're doing stupid stuff, great. Get it, fix it, you make more money. I know people that do that a lot. And I also have to tell those same people that fix businesses and then flip them that FedEx routes aren't for them. Like, you're not going to be able to come in and change things with your magic, organizational ideas and efficiency theories and whatnot and make it better, make it more profitable. Most of the time, it's just not what's going to happen. So when brokers try to tell you that, or a seller tries to say, oh man, I'm just so stupid. I just don't know how to manage this thing. I bet you're going to do it great. I bet you're going to make a lot more money than what I did. That's not true. That's not true. The organic growth, that is true. But operational growth, let's pump the brakes on that a little bit. The third thing that you should be thinking about is your inorganic growth. Now, here's the stuff that brokers and a lot of people don't want to talk about, because in inorganic growth, you are dealing with the fact that you are buying additional routes. Well, when you buy an additional route inorganically, i.e. from another contractor or whatever, when that happens, you're generally getting it for a lot cheaper than what retail is. So let's say, for example, retail in your current market, in your current situation, state and whatnot, is at a 4x multiple, right? 4 times the net income, that's what they're selling for. If you are inside the terminal and you have a private transaction, i.e. you to another contractor, no broker involved, anything like that, it's going to go at a significantly discounted rate. So when I'm talking about a discount, it could be like 30, 40, 50% off whatever that retail price is. And so brokers don't want to tell you this because they want to sell you the largest deal that they possibly can, because that's where they're going to get the largest commission, right? They don't want to say, hey, get the smallest thing possible. I'll make this little amount of money as possible. And when you're in that terminal, I bet you'll meet some people and I bet they'll be pretty motivated. And when they're motivated, you're going to be able to pick these things up for dirt cheap. He's not going to tell you that, right? He wants you to get the largest thing possible. And a lot of times we can see these things sell at a severe discount because they're not paying a broker, which is typically around 10% commission. It can be a little bit more or less, depends on the deal, but they're not paying for a broker's commission. They're also not having to wait 6 months on average for them to turn around and sell, wait for a new contractor to be approved. They got to deal with, several weeks of training the new guy. Like, it's just so much easier to sell to another contractor. And a lot of times in those private transactions, we do see those things sell at those discounts because there are a lot of conveniences with that, right? And so the point is, those are going to be out there, and you are going to likely bump into the people that want to sell. You're also going to bump into people that get terminated. When routes get terminated, it's not like FedEx takes them back and then they sell them to you. FedEx doesn't want anything to do with that. They say, we just need our packages delivered. So when someone fails, they're going to take those routes away. They're going to look for their best contractor. Hopefully that's you. And they're going to give them to you for free. There's no charge. You just get the trucks and you start running the damn thing. And I know a lot of times brokers aren't going to talk about this, right? Because they want everybody to think that everyone succeeds, everyone's good looking, and there's going to be no problem and no work involved because they're all absentee. Okay, fine. But the point is like, termination is rare, but it does happen. You will see it happen on a long enough timeline if you bump into enough contractors. I promise you will see it. It's not common, but it exists. So the point is, when those terminations happen, it is another opportunity for inorganic growth. You will also see situations where people are essentially knowing that they're going to be terminated and want to sell, and they need to sell, let's say, for 80% off. They've owned the routes for a few years. They've made some good money with it. Things have gotten bad because they thought they could be absentee. They shouldn't have been, and now all hell is breaking loose and they need to sell. You may be able to get this guy some amount of money for his routes before it goes to zero so he can pay off his loans or be done with it or whatever. And you are getting a great deal and you're saving this guy, even if it's kind of a shitty situation for him because he's getting terminated. So it's unfortunate, but I don't want to be naive and pretend like nothing bad happens in this business, because it does. It's just thankfully not all that common. But the point is that you're going to gain some serious amount of growth a lot of times on a long enough timeline from that inorganic growth. So the point is whenever you look at that net income figure, some of those things, again, they will have upside potential, some have downside potential, has nothing to do with the growth of the area or whatever. That's for another video, another day. The point is whenever you get in there, you will have organic growth in all likelihood, as long as everything kind of has been continuing the way it has for many, many years now. You will have inorganic growth, but what you won't have a lot of times is operational growth. So there's some upsides in a lot of different ways that can change that net income figure that I think are important to consider when you're looking at things and trying to figure out whether the business is even going to be worth your time or not. Hopefully this helps out a little bit and gives some extra perspective. Let me know if you got any comments or questions. Like, subscribe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.